What's good, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Salandria, and we talk about all things femininity, leveling up, and becoming the woman that you truly are at your core, that you know you truly are. And if you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much. I hope that you have already hit that subscribe button to join the community as we continue to grow. If I sound a little nasally, I am getting over a cold, so that's what that's about. But today, I really wanted to talk with you guys about this journey of self discovery and just where I am and how it's just such a crazy unfolding experience. So, the summer is coming to an end. It's currently September right now as I'm recording this, and we're now going into those fall seasons. My birthday is coming up, and I'm very much a seasonal being. So, like when the seasons change, my energy shifts with it. And I feel my energy turning downward, or should I say inward? That's exactly what I'll say. I feel my energy shifting inwards in a really beautiful way, though. I was telling a friend of mine the other day, like, I really feel like I'm going into my shadow work season again, but it's not to uncover anything this time. It's more so to discover who I am this time. So I'm like, journaling needs to happen, meditations need to happen. Those are always happening. But where I find myself right now is okay. I've gotten down to like the base core of who I am, it feels like. I don't feel like there is anything else for me to uncover or unpack. There's no more childhood trauma to unpack. There's, no more societal constraints for me to unpack. Now it's more so about me. Now that I've unpacked everything, now me, getting my legs, learning how to walk, learning how to run, learning how to sprint as this new being. And it's so interesting. I just asked myself, like, who do you want to be now? And I always thought, like, when you did this inner work, when you do this self-discovery work, everybody's always talking about, like, you just have to be your authentic self. You just have to be your authentic self. You just have to be your authentic self. And I wonder if that's actually a thing, because what I feel like, or where I feel like I am right now, I know who I am at my core within my authenticity. And it's not so much about just being that, but now who do I want to become? Because at my core, I feel like I'm me. I feel like I'm me, and I also feel like I am everything. Who I am at my core is not a personality. Who I am at my core is not like something that fits into this program. So I had a personality, a program that was like laminated over who I actually was. I've kind of peeled myself out of the personality, and now I see who I actually am. And it's not something for me to become. I can't become what I am, if that makes sense. I cannot become what I already am. And I think I find myself repeating, I already am that. Like sometimes I'll get stuck in this mindset, like, oh, I need to work on this, or oh, I need to fix this, or oh, I need to be more like this or more like that. And then I remind myself that you already are that. You already have that. You've already done this. Like, stop getting lost in this fix it syndrome, this gotta be more authentic, gotta be more so and so, gotta find that thing. Like, I already am all of those things. So if we start at I already am all of this, now what do I choose to be? What direction do I choose to go? Because that question still stands. When you find who you are at your authentic core, the question of what now is still there. And now it's a matter of me determining or defining, where do I want to go next? And I always thought that this authenticity was going to unfold out of me, and it was just going to like guide my way. And I'm learning that I decide my way through. Of course, there's a current that I'm on, right? I can't, control the current, but I get to decide what's created along the way as I'm riding that current. For so long, I was doing my inner work journey. I was doing all of this healing, thinking that like one day it was all just going to fall into me like a ton of bricks, who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, this is who you are, Salandria, and this is your purpose. Like, one day this proverbial mirror was just going to show itself to me and be like, this is it, and this is who you are. Now become it, like walk in it. And that's not what happened. It's this realization that you were always fine. You were always cool. You were always you. You were never not you. I was never not me. Even when I thought that I was not myself, or I thought that I was faking to be somebody else, no, that was me. It was always, I am the one who's living this experience, the core of who I am, the authentic me is always living this experience. And she's going to go through personalities. She's going to shed different versions of herself. I think one of the hugest mistakes that we make as humans is we really think that like we're going to get on this journey called life and the scenery around us is going to change, but we aren't going to change. Or we're going to grow in like this static and linear way. And that's just not how it goes. As I unfold, I realize, bro, this is not going as planned at all. Or is it? But yeah, today's conversation is more on the deeper side, less of practical advice, less of mindset work and emotional work, and more of just like the spiritual side, the spiritual unfolding of the purpose of who I am. I am the one who's having the experience. And so the question is, what do you want to experience next? I keep waiting for the reality to tell me what to experience next, and the reality is waiting for me to decide so that it can get it popping for me, I always used to say, like, I'm not into the identity work. Like, who do I want to identify with next? I'm a fan of Mina Irfan, and I watch her content. And that's one of the things that I was never really a fan of with her content, is how she is constantly like becoming a different person. Like, she's deciding these different personalities, putting them on, and then like running with that. And I always felt like, no, I just want to be who I am. But now it's starting to make sense to me. Like, who I am is just in here. Who I am is just the light. Who I am is just the consciousness. Who I am is just the observation. Who I am is just the energy. But the energy has to get dressed, right? And that's the identity. That's how are you getting dressed? What is your wardrobe? What clothes are you wearing today? You get to choose that based off of what you see is available for your life. And another thing, I always said I wasn't one of those people who believes in like, what are you going to do with your life in 5 years? But I feel like I'm at this point where I need to decide. I always used to be like, what the fuck do you mean? Who knows? Like, life just be life and I'll be where I'm at. But I feel like the importance of deciding who you're going to be and where you want to be. And I think a big part of why I was so unhappy in my life in the past was because I wasn't making a confident decisions. I won't say that I wasn't making decisions at all, but I was not making confident decisions. That's a fact. I was wishing and hoping and praying that I would be good enough, that people would like me enough, that I would be rich enough. Hopefully one day I can, versus I want that. This is who I'm going to be, wishing and hoping versus declaring and decreeing. And I feel like the difference between a wish and a hope and a declare and a decree is the power from knowing who you are. When you know who it is that you are down at your core, at the beginning of who you are, when you decide that you want to go that way, that's a declaration. Because there's no other junk in the way to tell you you can't go that way or you can't have that. And even if it does come up, you don't believe it, because whatever that voice is smaller than the core of who you are. You just know that now, like instinctively, intrinsically. So then you gain this power to like speak into and over your life, versus wishing and hoping and praying that the powers that be will be nice enough to me this year to like let me experience some piece of hope, of good and joy and love. And the powers that be, I'm doing air quotes, are waiting for me to like step into that shit. Step your cookies up for they crumble. They're like, why are you playing so weak and so timid and so thin? Like, thicken up, ho. Know who you are. And when you don't know who you are, you just make foolish fucking decisions. And that is something that is truly, truly scary. Like, do you have a moment in your life where you like really confused and just lost and like didn't know who the fuck you were? and you made decisions, and they were horrid decisions. They were like, what type of drugs was I on? It could have only been drugs, but it was just like this deep disconnection from who your true essence was. It was like the personality really thinking that that's who it was. The personality thinking like its existence is the only existence that's there. Now that should have lead you all the way into hell. And God willing, you'll come back out of it. But yeah, there's decisions that are made by you when you're just deeply disconnected are shocking decisions. And sometimes we pay the prices, deep prices, expensive prices for those decisions. And then what's even worse is that we punish ourselves for those decisions. And all it takes is for you to get back to the core and the essence of you. You don't have to be held hostage to any decision that you have made when you were disconnected. It's a choice. If you feel like you should be punished, if you feel like you deserve to be experiencing what you're experiencing for a decision that you made when you didn't know who you were and you were just a personality playing itself out, that storyline is the same storyline. When the personality takes over and thinks that it knows everything that's happening, it's the same story every single time. It ends up eating itself, right? It ends up killing itself. It ends up stabbing itself in the eye because it's just not the truth. That truth, that it is not the truth, has to explode somewhere. It has to be exposed somewhere. And in those moments, like at the height, the peak of the crumble, when the personality destroys itself by making some sort of decision that's so disconnected that you have to suffer such a huge consequence, in that moment, it's like the perfect moment for you to grasp onto who you truly are. There's a moment where you look in the mirror. It's a quick and fleeting one, but it's there. And I also think that there are some people who are just so afraid to look into that mirror. Maybe for due to years of buildup of different things. And they live a lifetime lost. But that's a different topic for a different day. Today's topic is really just about, we spend so much time trying to figure out purpose and who we are and what we're here to do and all of this stuff. And it's like, at your core essence, I'm literally just here to experience and live. What do you want to experience next? It's your nature to share and to give back and make impact, right? I believe that that's human nature. We get to choose the experiences that we want to partake in to make the impact that we want to have. And that really makes sense to me because as humans, we are interconnected beings. Whatever choices and decisions I make impact the people around me, right? It impacts the universe. We're all living impactful lives. Do you like the impact that you're making? Even if you lived a life where you did nothing, you sat in a room all day and you just scrolled on the internet, that has an impact on the outcome of the world. Everyone's existence is impactful because we are all intertwined. How you want to experience, what experience do you want to have, and what impact do you want to make, you decide. And now it makes me wonder, do people come with this big thing written on their lives, with this big old huge destiny written on their lives, or do they just choose it? Is it just a choice that they made? I'm leaning towards it's just a choice. I know that some people have this like drive, this incessant drive in them that won't let them stop doing something, or this deep desire to do this thing. And I feel like I don't feel that. But I wonder if that's just because there's a disconnection from my desire. But I don't think that that's what it is, because when I'm connected to my desire, there's no like that I have to be a scientist, right? Like I have to crack the Da Vinci Code. I don't feel my desire in that way. My desire is to live. My desire is to experience. Right now, I know that I'm living smaller than I truly could be. And my desire is to simply break free from that. But there's no destined, I don't feel like there's this destined path. It's like, can you pick something bigger, please? Whatever you see, pick a bigger thing so we can keep it pushing, you know? So I feel like I'm rambling. I hope this made sense to somebody in the world, you know? I hope that somebody is here with me. That would be nice to experience. If you are, leave it down below. If you have any questions or any thoughts that you want to share,